Smitty, how are you?
I hope you got a good reason drudging this crap up.
Well, I was hoping you might remember being caught here with my daddy 9 years ago.
Is that a joke?
No?
My name's Jason Gideon. We're from the FBI. We're investigating the series of murders in the French Quarter.
What's that got to do with me?
We need you to tell us what happened the night you and Detective Lamontagne answered the call in this bar.
Am I missing something?
You really don't know, do you? After that night, your daddy tried to bring me up on sanctions.
Why?
It was Mardi Gras. Some girl claimed she was raped in this bar. I wasn't buying it.
What did she say happened to her?
Brass backed me up. They ended up transferring your daddy out to shut him up.
What happened here?
He almost cost me my career.
Do you mind telling us what happened?
My best recollection, she said she was sitting at the bar with two friends. Listen to me. That girl had enough beads hanging from her neck to jewel a small city. Anyone exposes themselves that much in one day is not a credible witness in my book.
But she wanted to press charges.
I told her it was a waste of time. I knew one of the accused. He was a good kid. He didn't need the stink of that accusation.
So you protected a rapist?
Well, that right there was a bone of contention between his daddy and I. As far as I was concerned, no such rape ever took place. Now, you want to tell me why you went and dragged this dirt back through my life? I'm afraid your policy doesn't cover all of your losses.
What are you talking about? Why not?
Well, let me make sure I have all the facts first. Was there any wind damage?
No.
Ah, that's too bad, because you're covered for that.
But covered for wind damage?
Any fire or flood associated with the loss?
No, we got robbed.
Well, then there's not much I can do. Although we at Mutual Farms appreciate your business.
Their slogan was, "You're in white hands with Mutual Farms."
Wait, no, what about the meat? I mean, we lost $117.43 worth of meat.
I'm sorry. According to our records, you opted out of the meat coverage.
Well, at the time, we didn't have any meat to cover.
So let me get this straight. You're not paying us for the meat, you're not paying us for the stereo, but what are we paying you for?
Peace of mind.
I teach second grade at North Bend Elementary, or at least I did.
You can get your job back whenever you want. They love you there. When will we be able to take her home?
You want to take her back to...
North Bend. We've got a room all set up for her. Your mom's got all of your books and your letters and diaries.
I kept diaries?
About 800 of them. So even if you don't remember everything now, you will. We eventually overcame him and placed him under arrest.
When you arrived at the scene, did you ask him what he was doing?
He said he found the houses on this street quite beautiful, and he enjoyed looking at them.
And is that lawful in this neighborhood, to look at houses that you find beautiful?
Of course.
Is it your pattern to ask people for identification when they're engaging in lawful behavior?
He didn't live there, so I thought that...
How did you know that?
I patrol that neighborhood. I pretty much know who lives there and who doesn't.
You know everybody in this neighborhood. Every person.
Not every person, but...
How did you know my client didn't live there?
We have the right to ask citizens for identification. That's all I did.
You know what? I checked you out. You're an exemplary officer. You also have a reputation for honesty. Honestly, officer. Your decision to ask my client for identification, was his race a factor? Officer, was it at all a factor that he was black?
Black in an all-white neighborhood. Yes, it was a factor. Come on, Doug. My turn. So, are we prepared to commit our city to being Majestic's bowl because the guy next door brought over a cool model?
So I'm not 100% sold.
Do you understand the numbers?
I do.
And?
And we have to be able to renegotiate on our terms and not theirs. Otherwise, we...
What's going on? I thought that we dealt with this last night.
We did.
Uh-huh.
Why are you here? The city coffers are empty, Celia. Doug, what's your take on this Majestic proposal?
Basically, Majestic's overflowing river of crap has got no place to go but through us.
I have an announcement to make. For personal reasons, I've decided to give up my position on the city council. So in accordance with our bylaws, section 324, paragraph C, we are hereby compelled to elect an interim council member to replace me until the next election. I'm now opening up the floor to nominations.
I nominate Doug Wilson.
I second the Doug Wilson nomination.
All those in favor of the resolution to elect Doug Wilson as interim council member, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, you guys.
All those against?
Nay.
The resolution passes. Doug Wilson will take my seat on the council, effective immediately.
I would like to nominate Mitch Kamen to contract all requisite landscaping that will accompany Shit Highway.
Forget about the clamp, it's titanium, and it's also wired into the tamper-proof mechanism.
Fine, then let's disarm the timer. What do I do?
There's a plate at the opposite end of the clamp. You need to open that up.
Okay, I see it. Okay, I've got the timer.
You should see 6 wires to the left. Separate them from each other. Okay, the furthest to the left should be red. Cut it without making contact with the others.
I cut the red wire, but the timer's still counting down.
That's okay. The timer will stop with the next cut. Locate the green wire. It's in the group to the right.
All right, gentlemen, we've entered Afghani airspace. We expect both hostile and friendly fire. The better you remember your training, the longer you will survive. On your feet.
How soon do we land?
Now that's up to you. Remember, pull the green cord before the light green cord.